What's the job?
I'd like you to kill Santa Claus.
I'm looking for the fat man.
You can't be serious.
Hey, whoa!
Oh, that's Donner. Lucky it wasn't Blitzer should tear your package clean off.
How come while you sleep, the fat man's got his eye on you, kid?
What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Cinematic Central. My name is Chris, and welcome to this review for Fatman. So, Fatman is a 2020 action comedy / thriller that stars Mel Gibson as Santa Claus, also known as Fatman. So, Santa, he is Mel Gibson kind of gives a different interpretation of Santa Claus in a way, a side that you never really seen before. Or at least I haven't seen it. Basically, his toy business is kind of in a bit of struggles here lately, and the past year, toy production has pretty much gone down, and he has this deal working with the government, and he was unable to produce a certain amount of toys, so he only receives a certain amount of subsidy. And because of this, the military has decided to swoop in and take over the factory and use the workshop for, let's just say, for parts for their jets, which I found kind of weird. But yeah, he's dealing with that. At the same time, you have this hitman who's been performing different jobs. He's now hired by this 12-year-old kid who is like a spoiled brat who thinks he's above everyone else, and hires him to kill Santa Claus after he finds a lump of coal in his stocking. So now this hitman has to find his way to the North Pole in order to kill Santa Claus and carry out his job, carry out his assignment. Turns out Santa Claus done him wrong when he was a kid, and basically didn't give him what he wanted. So now this is also part of like a revenge thing as well. So it doubles as a revenge / assassin job. So, so with Fatman, this is a movie that I never watched when it came out back in 2020. It wasn't one that I don't know, I just didn't have interest in for some reason. I guess it's because the stuff that Mel Gibson was coming out with at that time, I wasn't really interested in it. So even with a movie like this, I didn't really care to see. Even though, when I found out that Walton Goggins is in this, and I think he's a really good actor. I like Walton Goggins. He is a terrific character actor. He's done a lot of great things. That he was in Predators. Not long before that, he was on this the HBO comedy series, Vice Principals with Danny McBride. That's a funny show. And I really like Walton Goggins, but for some reason I just never did check this out. And now having seen it, for the most part, I actually kind of enjoyed it. I'm going to go ahead and just get my nitpicks out of the way. First off, for me, I didn't care too much for the whole military coming in and taking over the toy shop, the workshop and everything. I just don't get that. I just don't understand that. It's stupid. There's basically, I mean, I don't know. I know it was supposed to be part of their deal. You know, it's supposed to be a 2-month contract or whatever. And I just think it's stupid, them coming over. And secondly, for me, honestly, I think my biggest negative for this movie is this 12-year-old kid. He is a spoiled little brat who thinks he's better than everybody. If you haven't seen this movie, I'm going to get into spoilers that kind of occur early on in the movie. It really just kind of made me think, what? Why? This is just stupid. Okay, so he's supposed to be in the science fair thing, and so he has always been best in show. He's always got the best project and everything. Well, there's this other girl, you know, who apparently won best in show instead of him, and he got runner up. Apparently that's not good enough for him, so he's like, yeah. So what he decides to do is before the whole thing with the coal, he finds the coal and he hires this hitman to go after Santa Claus. He actually hires this hitman to kidnap this girl and pretty much bring her to his house, and I guess scare her into lying about her cheating on the science fair project just so he can win best in show instead of her. And I mean, it was kind of a relief because I actually thought that maybe he was going to have him kill her. And so I'm kind of glad that didn't happen. So it was just a scare tactic. So, but it just, that was just, I thought it was ridiculous. This kid, I mean, just, you have to realize you just can't win everything in life. You know, you have to. And this guy is kind of a douchebag too. Now, I will admit, he's actually kind of neglected by his father. He never gets to spend time with his father. You know, when he finds out his father is probably off cheating on his mother. You know, I get that, but that's just not a reason to just be a complete douchebag to this other girl and just the rest of your family and people that actually work for you. You know, he just thinks he's a little spoiled rich kid who thinks he's better than everybody, and just I didn't care for his personality, and I had never seen this kid before, so I can't really say that I like him. So, but I don't like his personality, so I just found that part kind of annoying. Also, the elves. I wish they had shown a lot more of the elves. They don't show the elves until about the third act, the last half of the movie, and so it's kind of disappointing you don't see a whole lot of them. And also the final battle between Santa Claus and Walton Goggins, Hitman, which in the credits he's credited as Skinny Man, like literally his name in the credits is Skinny Man, but I believe whenever they reunite, you know, when they meet, he calls him Jonathan Miller. So that's his name. That's his actual name is Jonathan Miller. So yeah, but I wish the battle between them lasted a lot longer. It just didn't last a whole lot, but for what we got, I thought it was kind of cool. But enough of that bullshit. Let me get into what I really liked about this movie. Number one, I think I liked Mel Gibson's performance as Santa Claus. I think the idea of portraying him in a more emotional way added some more layers to him. He's kind of depressed, and you kind of felt sorry for him, you know, because there's like a mix of emotions too. You know, there's certain moments where he's kind of depressed and he's trying to deal with this conundrum that he's in with his business and everything. At the same time, he's trying to remain optimistic, especially for his wife, Mrs. Claus, which I actually kind of appreciated the fact that they made Santa and Mrs. Claus an interracial couple. I thought it was kind of cool, and I thought the chemistry and the relationship they had was really good. And lastly, I thought Walton Goggins was really good in it as this killer, as assassin. He really played it really straight. You know, he played it dead serious, which I think was the right way to go with it with his character. I've always liked Walton Goggins. In anything he's in, he's a very talented actor, and I thought he was really good in here. He's actually and honestly, he was the main reason I wanted to check this out. Not necessarily Mel Gibson. I like Mel Gibson and all, especially, you know, mainly in his early days, you know, in the Lethal Weapon times and some other movies he's done. But with this, I'm glad I checked this out because Mel Gibson was a surprisingly good Santa Claus for what they did with the character. I think they done a really good job. Walt Goggins, I thought he was great. So overall, this was a fun action comedy / thriller. I actually kind of enjoyed this. But I give it 3.5 out of 5 stars. But yeah, Fatman. If you haven't seen it yet, I recommend checking it out. If you're a Mel Gibson fan, or if you're a Santa Claus fan, you know, different interpretation of Santa Claus, I highly recommend checking this out. It's different. It's a unique. It's not your ordinary Santa Claus tale, but it's a fun one. Despite, honestly, I would just want to take out the whole Billy, this little kid, 12-year-old, all that shit out, and just concentrate, have the main focus on Santa Claus and this hitman, and that's it. That's what I would have liked. But aside from that, it was a fun movie. I really enjoyed it. But that's my thoughts on Fatman. I hope you're enjoying my 12 Days of Chris special. I know I haven't had a whole lot of videos. I'm trying to pump out more as Christmas gets closer. I know we only have less than 2 weeks left until Christmas, 3 weeks until the year ends, and that's just crazy how this year has just gone by like that. Hit the like button, Subscribe if you haven't already. I love you guys. You guys are the best. Happy holidays, and I will see you next time.